Hey, it's cool here if you don't know, and it is time for some more of the Smash TV, Super Smash TV ninth annual Easy Mode tournament here on GG Speedruns. We are here with the quarterfinal, yes, quarterfinal match between first seeded Brisulph and fourth seeded Tetsuoooo. And the winner of this match is going to be going up against J-Pop for life. And speaking of J-Pop, I've got his brother in the box here as well, The Real Zero. How you doing, bud?
Hey, Kalo, doing good. Looking forward to this match. It should be a really good one because we've got two of the top players here going at it. We got Brisulph, the reigning champion, and we're going to see if Tetsuo can manage to take him down.
Indeed, so it should be one heck of a match. Um, there are, I'm sure there are going to be some more matches that are going to be even more intense than this. But hey, it's always good to see a champ play.
Yeah, and it's going to be kind of interesting too because we have less players in this tournament this year. We only have 24 as opposed to the 32 we usually would have. There's generally less matches that are happening, and these two players both had buys in the first round and have only played two other matches besides this. So we'll see if that comes into play or not, because I kind of feel like personally, the more you play and the longer you go, the kind of more you can get into your groove. So, these players are definitely capable of performing, even if they're, shall we say, somewhat cold for the lack of matches they've had, but, it'll be interesting to see.
And it's all about how much practice you get in the meantime, right? Some people are going to throw their all into it, and some people are just going to take the matches as they come. So I don't really follow how much practice these guys are getting, but being a follower of Brisulph on Twitch, I have not seen a whole lot of training videos. So we'll see how that goes. And as for Tetsuo, well, definitely looks like he's ready. Meanwhile, Brisulph, it looks like he is currently in Total Carnage. Yes, Total Carnage. About to finish that up at about a 3 minute in practice. It's a pretty good time. We'll have to see how that carries over when we start playing for real.
Yeah, as you pointed out, I haven't personally seen myself, Brisulph, doing too much practicing on stream at least, although it is totally possible he could be doing some off, but I think he tends to stream his practicing. I have been seeing Tetsuo playing on and off leading up to his matches, so I know at least he's been doing some practicing.
Indeed. So yeah, we I don't know if we can get Bricel's attention to get this match started here, but in the meantime, let's take a look at what he's doing over in Tank Trouble. Got both of the wall gunners here, got an orb, and holding the center as he is wont to do. Not a whole lot of weapon drops happening though, so we're gonna have to just go with. Oh, there we go. He has got the message, and we're gonna be starting game one shortly here.
Yeah, I know from personal experience that while you're in the middle of a match, whether it's a real one or practicing, I personally don't really look, at the Discord, so it's easy to kind of miss when
Yeah.
the match is ready to go. So you kind of just go to finish the run. But I guess maybe he wants to just finish out there and say forget the Mutoid man. He knows what his entry time is. That's good enough for him. Sounds like he'll be ready to go here. So as soon as he gets his manip set up, we'll be able to get him with the countdown.
Indeed, and it was looking to be about a 418 going into Mutoid Man, which is pretty good. Should be enough to win a lot of races. Really just comes down to that that Mutoid luck, which can make or break runs. I'm sure that you're aware of that.
All right, getting these racers set up here. Bryce has signaled that he is ready, waiting for the signal from Tetsuo, and we have the okay, so I will be counting them down, and we'll be starting momentarily.
Sounds great. And our players have been given the green light, so in just a moment we will be on to game number one of this quarterfinal match between Brisulph and Tetsuo here on GG Speedruns.
And this is going to be a best of 7 match. So because we are in these later rounds now, it is no longer a best of 5. It is best of 7. So even if you have a bad game here or there, you've still got more games to possibly make it up. So let's see how we go for this start here for. I'm pretty sure Brisulph, he does not do the manip. Tetsuo is going to go for the orb manip. Let's see if he can get it.
Oh goodness, no, Brisulph is going for the little chin chin there on the camera. So he's going for a manip of some kind, just not the one that'll guarantee you an orb. But honestly, Brisulph's play is so consistent, he often gets a first or second drop orb anyway.
Yeah, Brisulph definitely can make it work, whether he gets the orb or not early. But Tetsuo did mess up a little part of the end of the manip there and then gave it up. So they're just a little apart from each other, but no orb manip. So let's see who gets the first one.
Yeah, it's about a dead heat so far. We got first drop orb for Brisulph. Meanwhile, it was a nuke on the feet for Tetsuo. So already choosing favorites here.
Yep, you call it. He seems to get that orb a lot during these matches. And, you know, if you're going to get some good luck and get that orb, the match is the time to get it.
Who needs the orb manipulation anyway? Look at this. Both of our players have the orb now. No worries at all.
Yeah,
That's going to be a
getting out.
one-man team. And going up against a 124. So about 5-second difference.
Yep, so now the players are entering Eat My Shrapnel, where you have 18 Mr. Shrapnel that you need to kill, but you cannot have more than 4 on the screen at any one time. So you need to keep them under control while taking care of all the other grunts. And it's the room where, as long as you do everything right, with a little bit of luck, you should not lose time, because you can't really gain time here. With a slight gain if you get a nuke or rockets at the end to kill the last shrapnel.
Indeed. That's pretty much the auto scroller level of Super Smash TV, at least in the first circuit here. Cleaning up here at about a 203 for Brisulph. Looks like Tetsuo is getting about 207, so about the same kind of spread as the first room.
Speaking of spread, Brisulph starts up with a spreader. Tetsuo gets a Razor Shield, really nice to have, helps you really hold down the center of the room, not have to worry too much about the loose grunts that come at you. You can keep your firing lanes nice and clean. He also gets rockets to follow up, so he's got the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, Tetsuo just ripping through the firing lanes right now. No worries at all. This is gonna gain him some time. Meanwhile, Brisulph still has Zor, but not really much else. So just trying to avoid that nuke that appear in the middle there. There's a spreader, but is he gonna get it? He is gonna get it.
Yeah, Brisulph got a couple of nukes there near the center, which if you're not going to grab the nukes, because they can technically lose you a little bit of time, them being in the middle makes it kind of hard to dance around it, but Brisulph's still getting out at a very solid time, about a 2:56 or so.
Actually, didn't gain any time at all on Tetsuo. Actually lost about a second, so that's Brisulph's consistency for you.
Yeah, it's definitely showing. I mean, you expect to see that from the reigning champion. I believe he's won the tournament 3 times.
He has.
All right, entering tank trouble. Let's see the all-important first drop. Brisulph is going to get a nuke, which is a good start. Helps you focus on the gunners.
Yeah, not too bad on that. And meanwhile, Tetsuo gets a dude. So not a whole lot of help there. It can help you avoid the game over, but if you're playing well enough, you won't have to worry about that anyway.
Yeah, most of the time you'd only need the lives in the last room if you're going for spreader drops. Oh,
Oh!
Tetsuo manages to lose his orb, though.
Yeah, unfortunately got a little too close to the swarmers. So did lose his orb, but we'll have to see how he manages to dance with that invulnerability.
Yep, after that, you try to get your orb back. At least if you have feet, you can make good use of that invuln running into the enemies, but Tetsuo is fishing for some. He's getting invulns, and he has that feet still, but he needs some rockets or something here.
That's got to be 412 going into Mutoid Man for Brisulph. Tetsuo is still kind of fighting, trying to get there as soon as possible, and gonna have to hope for some good drops. There's another spreader, gonna need that in Mutoid Man, not now, but does get him out of the room at a 429.
Meanwhile, Brisulph is going to go for the Ballbuster, where you swing your orb into the back of his neck to try to get some extra free damage. He'll probably go for that after he spins up his lobbers here. Let's see if he can get it.
Ooh, that
He
was
does
tight,
nail
but
it.
does get it. That's about 42% of the form of damage, so definitely a big help there. Tetsuo's got some catching up to do if he wants to win game number 1.
Yeah, he had a foot there, which is no good. He's got some grenades, but he's going to need a spreader to get himself caught up here. Lobbers are great. If you don't get spreaders, lobbers are what you want to see. They're the best damage. If you can hit it right in the center, just below Mutor Man's neck, that little brown area, you can do some extra damage if you hit it just right.
Yeah, if you hit it just right, yes, but also it won't get you back from a 3-form lead, so gonna need a spreader right now if he wants to win game one.
Yep, Tetsuo is still going to need that spread. He's also going to need it in a good place. The game does like to troll and give it to you in the wrong end of the room. But meanwhile, Brisulph is on final form. Can he get to this? He gets to the lobber without getting run over.
Yeah, and that lobber, as long as those shots land, should about do it. Getting the Rockets just to kind of finish off, and yep, that's going to be Brisulph's first game is going to be out at about a 554, I would say.
Yep, get a nice sub six. That's what you want to see. Sub sixes will win you matches often. Although we've seen plenty of times, we've seen double sub sixes. So 554, very good time. Very good first round for Brisulph.
Oh,
Tetsuo, I
there's the
mean,
spreader.
right, yeah, there's the spreader. It's a little
Yeah,
late now, game, but still, I mean, I guess you like to see it so you can finish off the form quicker here.
yeah, too little, too late. But I mean, let's just get this done so we can move on to game two.
Yeah, Mutoid runs him over there. He's going to grab these rockets. We'll see if it's enough to finish him off here.
I don't think the Rockets, but those lobbers are absolutely gonna do it. Yeah, there we go. It's gonna be about a 641. That's it.
Yep, looks about to be 6 for 1. Right at 642.
642.
Close enough.
Hey, I'm all right at estimating times. Other things maybe not so much, but usually that I'm pretty good for.
All right, so Brisulph takes his first round here, and our players will get set up with their Razor Shield manips again, and we'll wait to give them the countdown in the meantime.
Yeah, Briself pointing out in the matchup channel, lobbers heavy, no spread sub six. I mean, not everybody can do that, but if someone can, it's Briself. It'll just be a moment here as Tetsuo sets up for the Razor Shield manipulation, which of course, excuse me, you let the demo start, which will set the random seed to a very specific value, which if you start the game immediately after that will guarantee a first drop Razor Shield right at the feet, well, just off the feet, and that is also how you set up for the orb manipulation.
All right, and our racers have been given the green light, so we should see them starting momentarily.
Game number two, let's go. Briself 1, Tetsuo 0. Let's see if we can even this.
Yep, and like we had said before, it is best of 7, so even if you lose the first couple of matches, you still got room to come back, but you don't want to fall too far behind. Puts a lot of pressure on you, so it's a big game here.
Absolutely.
Tetsuo wants to get this match here.
Now Tetsuo, of course, setting up for the orb manipulation. We'll have to see if that no does not play out. Does notice a mistake in the form. There's a very specific set of things that you need to do to actually get it, and unfortunately, it's not going to work out in game number two. So it's going to be Briself out at 40 seconds and Tetsuo out at 43.
Yep, there are a few moments where you have a little bit of leeway with the manip, but generally speaking, there's a few key points where you really don't have too much room for error, and if you mess it up and recognize it quick enough, you know you have to abandon it and just go back to killing the room normally. So, Briself starting off with some grenades and a Razor Shield to
Ooh.
follow. Tetsuo gets his own
Oh,
Razor Shield.
yeah, Razor Shields on both sides going to keep the room under control pretty well. Not the most crucial thing for this early in the game, but definitely helps clear out the room. Briself using it very offensively to clear the foot soldiers as quickly as possible is going to be about a quarter of a clip of rockets and 120 going into Eat My Shrapnel. And there's his orb.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Tetsuo did have a slight advantage going into the room just because he did have the orb, but Brisulph gets his own orb, so now they're evened up. So if nothing else goes majorly wrong in this room, they should be exiting at still about the same time. So it should be about dead even.
Myself already finished with his foot soldiers. Just gotta get those shrapnels out of the way. And Tetsuo doing the same at this point. Both of them will be entering Total Carnage with a set of rockets, and it is a dead heat right now.
Yeah, you can't get much more even than that. Same timing, same weaponry. Different drops to start with, though. Tetsuo gets a Razor Shield, which, again, I think he had in the last one. And the Rockets. Wow, it's a repeat, I think, of the first
Oh yes.
game.
Yeah, this is heating up for Tetsuo here. Meanwhile, Brian with some spreaders, and followed by some rocket spreaders over on Tetsuo's side. So gonna clear things out pretty quickly, but Tetsuo with the slight edge in the situation. Oh, but there's a nuke in the middle. Gotta avoid that, unless you want to try to clear the room. Didn't work out for him that time.
Yeah, meanwhile, Brisulph got some rockets near the right door. He took his time to carefully make sure that he grabbed it without losing his orb, and he's going to get out at a
Oh,
255. Wow, look at this. Look at how close they are.
I mean, I don't think there's any better time for the thing that we always do. You want to take that zero?
Oh, it's time for some. Oh, Taco Bell, product placement with Taco Bell. Get
I wish
yourself
I
a
could make
Baja Blast.
I wish I could make any suggestions, but like I've mentioned before, the nearest one's like 40 minutes away. I've never been to a Taco Bell.
Yep,
All
and
right.
look at this. Rockets to start for both players. They
Ooh.
both immediately take out the gunners, so they're starting off pretty good in this room here.
Yeah, and more rockets for Brisulph, so he's got a bit of an edge, but we'll see how it plays out here. Got some spreaders right behind as well. Meanwhile, Tetsuo with some grenades that he's definitely going to avoid.
Yeah, grenades are not what you want because they're not as effective. They you don't have the reach with them. You got it too close to use them. You rather just ignore them if you can. But meanwhile, Brisulph with more rockets is getting out a solid 4 minutes.
Not too far behind with Tetsuo, gonna get in at a 405, but definitely lost some time there.
Yep, but not too much so. Tetsuo is definitely hanging in there. This is basically just a one-drop difference. So let's see. Brisulph getting some grenades, which is kind of nice to take out the gunners to start with. Gets the ball buster. I mean, so Tetsuo's got some rockets, but he's going to go for his own ball buster first.
Yeah, some fancy footwork on Brisulph's side. Both of them getting ball busters, so no advantage there. And right now, it's dead drops for Brisulph. Tetsuo getting some lobbers, so the luck is going a little bit in his favor for this one, but there's some lobbers for Brisulph.
Yeah, you can even see in Bricel's camera. He was a little just kind of laughing because of what was happening. Oh, but speaking, here's the spreader,
Ooh.
but he's had a shield on. He's not going to be able to safely be able to grab it in time. He's going to go for some manuals. Good call to go on the right side. It'd be a little bit easy if Mutual Man lines up correctly for him.
Yeah, getting some really good manual shots there. Meanwhile, Tetsuo's drops are drying out a little bit, getting some weapons, but it's lower quality weapons. The rockets, lobbers.
I'm not sure if it's on my end or not, but could be my internet is a little choppy right now.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of chop as well, so it's good to know if it's not just me.
Okay, it might just be on the broadcast because on my screen the timers are desynced right now. But Brisulph is on final form, and actually final form is now dead. Brisulph looks like he will be taking this game number 2.
Yeah, even if it's out of sync, well, Brisulph's timer is a little bit ahead of the game here, so it's got to be his game for sure. 5:51, excellent time.
Indeed, 2 back-to-back sub sixes, and chat is confirming it was Twitch, so at least it's not on my end. But
Yeah,
Mr. Dino will get that synced back up for the next one for sure, so no worries there.
absolutely. And we do sing the praises of Mr. Dino here, just doing all of the legwork, all of this stream preparation, and of course also playing his games while he's doing this whole thing. Like there is no greater magic than Mr. Dino is doing. I had to do it for I had to do it for Bro versus Bro, and trying to spin many plates all at once is uh, is a task.
It definitely is. All right, so both players are going to get their manips here set up.
Not sure why Brisulph's timer is at 6:36, but we'll ignore that for now, and hopefully he'll catch that and reset it before starting. Another shot down, another game to start.
Yep, both players are ready, so I'm going to get them counted down. And they are off, so we should see them momentarily here. Starting for game number 3, a very pivotal game. Tetsuoooo needs to win this to give himself some breathing room because while it's not impossible, you do not want to be in a 3-0 situation in a best of 7 where you have to come back and win 4 straight matches in a row. So let's see if Tetsuoooo can snag this one here.
Absolutely. It might not be an elimination race, but he still would rather not end up in the second chance bracket if he can avoid it.
Yeah, and that is a good point. The loser of this match will not be eliminated from the tournament, as both of these players have not currently lost a match yet. So, no matter who goes down here, they will continue in the tournament, while the winner will go on to face J-Pop for life. It looks like Tetsuoooo looks like he had the manip. I think I wasn't fully paying attention, but the ending looked good at least.
At the very least, the score is right, so he's got a chance.
Yep, you can kind of
And
tell by the score, the timing.
And incidentally, it looks like the loser of this match is going to be going up against Lucha Jim, and that is a successful orb manipulation, first one of the match.
Yep, but you know what? Brisulph can get that luck here. We've seen him get a lot of orbs in this first room. Let's see if he gets one to keep it even. He does have rockets to keep himself on pace right now, though, with some spreader to follow up at least.
Yeah, it's some pretty decent weapons, but no orb. It can keep it under control this early in the game, but definitely going to want that orb by the time you leave Eat My Shrapnel. And here they go with the Shrapnel room itself.
Yep, pretty much less than a second difference between the two here. So you're going to see Brisulph is going to be using that invulnerability to help clear the things and gets his orb. So now we're evened up.
Not quite as early as he would have liked, but still early enough that it will make all the more difference. So both players with orbs, both players not really getting a whole lot of weapons, but not really needing anything right now. Just clearing up the rest of these shrapnels. Would like to be able to leave with spreaders or rockets going into Total Carnage, but that's not going to be happening. About a 1 second difference going into TC.
And let's see if Tetsuoooo goes 3 for 3 for a Razor Shield. Starts off with a foot, so not immediately, but actually they both have feet in the corners. They're not going to grab that because you don't want to leave the center if you can help it and lose your firing lanes. Not really great drops for either player so far.
Yeah, really not. Had a key, we had a nuke, we had vulnerabilities, like not really anything of use, but there is a spreader for Tetsuo, so that's definitely a help there, and there's some rockets to follow up.
Yep, so right now weapon drops are favoring Tetsuo a little bit. Meanwhile, Brisulph is getting a whole lot of nothing. They're either dead drops or in bad positions. Bad combination here, and then more feet on the way. Brisulph's getting nothing. He does have the orb, but you'd like to see some weapons. At least he'll get a Razor Shield kind of late into the room, and I guess it doesn't really matter
Yeah,
as much now.
at that point, doesn't matter at all. It's going to be 254 going up against a 255. Tetsuo in the lead for the first time going into the secret room.
Yep, but all things considered, since they were pretty much in a dead heat there, Brisulph really didn't lose a whole lot of time there, so at least he's still right up there with Tetsuo.
Yeah, like he has years and years and years of experience. Like even if he's not practicing every day, it's still baked into his memory, into his hands. He's going to be able to do this and take control in just about any situation. We've got rockets on both sides here to clear out the wall gunners, and more rockets to follow against some spreaders on Tetsuo's side. So pretty much able to keep this under control so far.
Yeah, and good job on both of them. Both of them had rockets in the corners. Tetsuo had it in the top right. He had to kind of weave his way around the gunner and the shrapnel there, but was able to get it and make use of it without losing his. And Brisulph had it in the bottom right, which was a little easier to grab, but nonetheless, they were able to successfully keep their orb in the process, and it definitely shows their level of experience and skill at this.
Gonna be 406 for Brisulph going into Mutoid Man against the 410. And so about 4 second difference. Brisulph did take the lead back. We'll have to see how these weapons line up for both of our players.
And Brisulph gets some lobbers right on the feet, which is great. Tetsuo's got rockets there and grenades, which is, again, is okay for taking out the gunners, but let's see. Tetsuo gets the ball buster. Meanwhile, Brisulph, I think he got his
I
too.
I think he got like it didn't look by the way that it hit, but the orb didn't come out the other side, so I'm gonna call that a successful ball buster.
Yeah, it was a little odd looking. I thought it might have been a little too far to the left, but like you said, if as long as you don't see it flying out, then it should be successful. Meanwhile, Bricelov has lobbers here. He's going to use, going to ignore those rockies. Might go for a Teleo here. No, he's going to just wait and get the grenades instead. Meanwhile, Tetsuo is just hanging out, waiting for some kind of drop for him.
Yeah, there was a lobber that Mutoid Man was sitting on and just did not want to let go until it was gone. So, but there's a lobber now. It might be a little late though, because Brisulph is two forms away from a game 3 victory. Meanwhile, Tetsuo still needs to pop the head and the chest in order to catch up. So he's gonna need some spreaders, and there's some spreaders now, but on the wrong sides, it's gonna have to be some manuals and not really getting any of that action.
Yeah, meanwhile, Bricelov was looking for his drop. It was a spreader, but Muto was sitting on it, so he wasn't able to make total use of it. But nonetheless, he is on the final form here, so it's looking pretty good for Bricelov. Tetsuo would need a spreader, and he'd need it right now.
Yeah, even then, it might be a little too late. Have to really sneak in there, glitch inside of Mutoid Man, and just wreck him. But there is going to be the kill for Brisulph. He has, I think that's his first non-sub 6, but I mean, doesn't really matter, does it? As long as he can get the win, that's the important thing. And he's out of the 613 or 612.
Yep. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. And you know what? Nothing Tetsuo did wrong there. They both were very close the whole way. He had a good entry into Mutoid, just didn't get quite as many of the drops. And you know what? That's just how it plays out with the luck in this room.
And no kidding. So that's going to be Tetsuo out at about a 642, about a 30-second difference. And yeah, it really comes down to weapons and what else can you do. So as this match point rather for Brisulph, Tetsuo is going to have to pull the reverse sweep if he wants to go on to the winners semifinals.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall mountain for Tetsu to climb, but it is not impossible. We have seen where people, players can come
Oh
back,
yeah.
and Tetsu is definitely capable of it. But as we always say, you got to take it one game at a time here. So Tetsu just needs to focus, do the best he can. He's been playing well. He needs a little bit more luck to swing his way here, especially in that Mutoid room. But just take it one game at a time, and hopefully he can try to bring it back here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been very even arena play. It's like there's been some moments where it was a little more spread out, but it's been real close. So it just comes down to like who does Mutoid Man want to win, basically, and the answer so far has been the uh, the 3-time champion Brisulph. Countdown's coming up, so we should be seeing game 4, and best of luck to Tetsuo to take this to at least 5, if not a full set. We'll have to see what happens.
Yep, let's see if Tetsuo can get the orb minute again. It'll definitely give him a good start at least. If you don't get it, it's okay. You can just go back to playing normal, but it is always comforting to get that orb right off the bat. At least you're having a good start, so let's see if he can secure it here.
Tetsuo going into possession for the orb manipulation. Meanwhile, Brisulph, of course, just concentrating on clearing out the room. And Tetsuo does not get the orb manipulation, has to abort that. So just going into the center and clearing out the room as fast as possible.
Yeah, I think he missed his timing to shoot down at some of the grunts that were coming up, so he quickly noticed that it was no good at that point, so he abandoned it. So time-wise, at least, they're about the same.
Yeah, dead even about a mid 40. So collect power ups. We'll have to see who gets that first drop orb. Maybe it'll be late, maybe it'll be early. Who knows?
Well, it's going to be a foot. It's going to be to start with, and a shield for Brisulph, so nothing to write home about for either player. More feet for Tetsuo, well, but Brisulph has got some rockets now.
Oh, meanwhile, got some spreaders for Tetsuo's. That's not nothing. Spreaders on Brisulph's side as well. So this early, it's definitely going to help. But trading the weapons here, rockets on Tetsuo's side now.
Yeah, they're both getting about the same rockets, just in a different order here, so I imagine their time won't be too far apart. Looks like Bricel's going to have a little bit of a lead, 121, 122 to a 123, 24.
Yeah, does gain a couple of seconds there, but this room should be about even for both of our players as long as nothing horribly goes wrong. We'll have to see how V drops line up here and if someone can get the orb. But there's a Razor Shield for Tetsuo. It's not nothing, it's not a whole lot.
Yeah, and actually, Brisulph, he might have lost a tiny bit of time because the swirl
Oh.
kind of came in a nasty way, and he might have had shrapnels, 4 of them on screen for just a split second, but not too much of a difference.
Yeah, I mean, getting the room pretty much cleared out at this point. He's going to be out at 205 against a 208. So actually, Brisulph gaining time on that one.
But this time, neither player has an orb so far, so Brisulph gets the Razor Shield with his rockets and a spreader to follow up. He'll be starting off decently at the beginning of the room here. Meanwhile, Tetsuo's getting nothing.
Yeah, a whole lot of nothing. Not even an. Oh, that. Well, there it is. I guess there's the orb on both sides actually. So both of our players here were feeling the pressure not having an orb and just wondering if the other person had that orb, and here it is. Both of them have the orb now.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling going into this room without an orb, because at this point, this is your last real chance to, like, you need to get that orb in this room, because if you go orbless going into tank trouble, I mean, it gives you the freedom to move around more, because you don't have to worry about protecting the orb, but you're going to lose a lot of firepower, so you'd like to have it going in. Brisulph is going to end the room at a 3:02. He definitely would like it to be under 3 minutes, but considering they didn't have the orb for so long, you know what, you'll take it.
Absolutely. Tetsuo stumbling over the end of that room, going to be out at 3:14, so does lose a fair amount of time there. I am going to say though, like having both players orbless does kind of make the game very exciting because both of the players are wondering if the other has the orb, and like it makes for a pretty intense matchup.
Yeah, you're always questioning, like, oh, I got to be behind, right? Because I don't have an orb, but you don't know that the other player doesn't necessarily. And Brisel's starting off with some rockets, so take out the gunners. Tetsuo gets his own rockets, so he'll be able to take them as well.
Yeah, good first drop on both sides. So we'll see here. Briself with a foot, Tetsuo with invulnerability. Neither player takes it. Both. Oh, trades the orb for a razor shield. So still going to be at a bit of a disadvantage with. Oh, well, there's a replacement orb for Tetsuo.
Yeah, you like to see a quick replacement, and credit to Tetsuo, he was having to do some dancing around some shrapnels exploding and the grunt, so he was keeping it alive, but just got snagged there. And Brisulph is ending the room at about a 4:15 or so. I think that's the slowest time for them so far going into Mutoid, but still not that bad. Tetsuo is going to be 4:25, so about a 10-second difference. So let's see if he can bring it back here. He's going to need some luck in this room.
Yeah, we haven't seen any like really good spreaders so far this match at all. So let's see if we can get something good going on here. Briself does get his ball buster, as does Tetsuo. Got lobbers on both sides, but still a foot gunner on Tetsuo's side. Oh, there's a spreader opportunity.
Yeah, and Mutoid moved up, so there's no real chance he's going to get covered on it, and Tetsuo's going to get this damage in here. Lots of damage. It's looking pretty good. Another one.
There's
He's
another
going to follow it up.
Oh, that's going to be a big opportunity. I think we're going to see a game 5 after all. Look at that.
Yeah, and Mutoid didn't troll. He moved up out of the way, so Tetsuo getting the goods here. It's exactly what he needed. He's got a huge advantage on number forms.
And there's another one!
Wow, look, this is going to be an insane time. Look at this here. He's got lobbers to follow up after some transfer damage. How quickly can he kill him? It's done.
Man, oh man, Tetsuo needed that win. It's going to be out at about a 541. And Brisulph does get a spreader opportunity, but oh no, just barely gets blocked by Mutoid Man.
Yeah, and you see it in the camera. Brisulph making that face. He knew it just by frames. He's nothing he could have done about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
at least he might feel better knowing that in the end it didn't matter. Tetsuo had already won by that point, so maybe it'll make it sting a little less.
I mean, gotta put a little bit of pressure on Brisulph, right? There's a spreader that should do a fair amount of damage. I'm pretty sure that form is almost done. A little more to it than I thought, but now we're on to the final form. Got some grenades, which are going to finish the game. Suppose that was about a 626 there. So here we are. Tetsuo is saving his life. Let's see if he can do it 3 more times. Game number 5 is going to be on its way, and Tetsuo needs to win all 3 of these if he wants to move on to the winner semifinals before Brisulph gets his one and takes his place next to J-Pop for life in that round.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Tetsuo needed. Secure that game. It can maybe help calm him down a little bit. Like, all right, he's got one. Got to keep focus on game 5. Take him one at a time. See if he can make it happen here. Both players are getting their manips set up, and they're both ready. So I will have them counted down in a moment.
The count has been downed, and we're about to see game number 5 start up.
All right, let's see if Tetsuo can buckle down a little bit and nail the manip this time. I think he's only gotten it the one time out of the 4, so let's see if he can get it here in game number 5.
And usual moves, Brisulph goes off to the right, Tetsuo going for the orb manipulation. And we'll see if he stays up there at the top and is confident that he's got it, or if he's going to have to abort one more time. And yeah, that looks like the correct score, so we'll have to see if that works out.
Yep, look good on my end. I think he's got it. We'll see coming into. There's a one frame where even if you've done everything right, if you grab the nuke on this one frame, it messes up the manip, but it's unlikely, but you never know. Let's see here.
There it is.
Yep, he gets his orb, and he gets a spreader to follow up. It's not in the best position, but he will go ahead and grab it. Meanwhile, grenades for Brisulph.
That's a spreader for Tetsuo. Definitely going to help clear out, collect power-ups here. I gotta collect those power-ups to get this room finished as soon as possible. And there's some rockets for Brisulph. Now that's a good power-up to collect, but Tetsuo is going to be out at a 1:18.78 seconds compared to an 81 seconds for Brisulph.
Yep, so advantage Tetsuo, who does have his orb, so we're going to see Brisulph's going to be fishing for that orb in here, see if he can get that to keep up while he's taking out the shrapnels and the grunts coming in.
Well, that's not going to help. A new credit right in the middle. He's been seeing a lot of those lately, so has been able to avoid the majority of them. I think he did end up hitting like one of them so far, but lots of dudes, which is not going to help anyone. There's another nuke for Brisulph and a key for Tetsuo. So drops are really nothing to write home about at all here in collect power-ups, as Tetsuo leaves at about a 201, I think, and Brisulph at 205.
Yeah, you can see in Brisulph's face that he's fishing, he's shaking his head, but and still no orb for him. He's got some spreaders, but the grenades are going to do him no good here. He's going to probably ignore them.
Yeah, especially against Tetsuo's rockets. Rockets with the orb. Gonna clear out those firing lanes right quick. But right now, not seeing a whole lot. Just a Razor Shields and Orb for Tetsuo against Brisulph's nil. So, yeah. Wow. The the drops are just abysmal in this room.
Yeah, this Brisulph's getting so many nukes and dead drops, and the nukes are in bad positions to grab there too. There's nothing he could do about this. He's done nothing wrong. It's just these drops. They are not good for Brisulph this game. Not good at all.
Yeah, like if we're not careful, we might actually see this World of Sorrow on Dryself's side. That would be a rare occurrence.
Oh yeah, I sometimes
That,
forget. Yeah, in this room, if you're in this room for too long, you get the swirl of shame. And if that happened there, it would have been nothing against Brisulph. And you can see he's just shaking. Is nothing he can do. What can he do about that?
yeah, exactly. Fortunately, he was able to avoid that fate, but he is still well behind with Tetsuo starting tank trouble in earnest here, and Brysolf yet to enter the room.
And Tetsuo's having to do a little bit of dancing there. Did a good job though. Then was able to get a nuke on the feet to help settle, so he could finish off the last gunner. So now he'll just try to hold the center of the room. And Brisulph, in the meantime, he's going to be fishing for what he can.
Yeah, gotta have do a lot of fishing, like just anything, like a weapon, an orb, a razor shield, just anything to help out to clear this room because, like, wow, the drop quality is unspeakably bad. Tetsuo at Mutoid Man at about a 4-7. Brysel finally at least gets two rockets back to back.
Yeah, that'll certainly help him stop the bleeding, but the damage has been done. Tetsuo has a commanding lead going into Mutoid while Brisulph is still finishing off the room. Let's see if he can use this nuke to end it. No, may not go for it. It would have been questionable. Probably not quite, but either way, he's getting in just at a 429, so he's got some catching up to do.
Big time. That is 22 seconds difference. So we might be here for a little bit longer, folks.
Yep, it's looking pretty good for Tetsuo so far, but you never know. We see how this room can go. A dead drops on either side can mean all the difference, and one or two good spreaders. And Brisulph he's got some rockets, but he's going to wait for his next drop, and seeing a whole lot of nothing, and it's just grenades.
Grenades on both sides, in fact. So and Brysel does not even get the grenades, but does get these lobbers against Tetsuo's spreader chance here. There it is.
Yeah, looking pretty good for Tetsuo. Gets the chest popped off,
Oh,
gets run over. I don't think he's going to get to those lobbers, so he'll have to wait for the next drop, but he does have a pretty good lead on the forms here so far.
yeah. So, currently, Tetsuo's got nothing to worry about, but a couple of dynamite spreaders could still get Brysel back in this, but they would have to happen immediately.
Yeah, and he'd have to get not mother hen because those grenades he couldn't even get to, and well, he's gonna get these lobbers, but it's looking pretty grim here so far because Tetsuo is on the final form.
And Tetsuo in final form, Bryself with both of the arms popped off, so not a whole lot. Gotta get those spreaders, but won't get the opportunity to go for the invulnerability and does get run over. Meanwhile, Tetsuo does finish Mutoid Man and is going to be out at about a 6-10, so we are going to game number 6.
Yep, the luck was on Tetsuo's side there, and was able to bring it back here. And again, nothing against Brisulph there. He did not have the drops there. It's just what can he do when he's just lacking the orb and lacking the weapons and getting nothing from Mutoid soon enough.
Yeah, just abysmal drops really for both players, honestly. Just Tetsuo was at least able to get the orb, a razor shield or two. Bryself is orbless this game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you know what? If you're gonna have some bad luck happen, you'd probably rather just have it happen all in the one game. It's just like, you know what? I'd rather have a 7 minute time once and then get some sub sixes elsewhere. That's fine by me.
that's gonna be 652 for Bryself, and he is not happy.
No, but you know, like we said, it's nothing for him to feel bad of himself personally. He did nothing wrong. It's just the game just wasn't giving it to him. So it happens. So Tetsuo will take that game number 5, and he's slowly making this comeback here and making it exciting at least.
Oh, for sure. And if you're gonna make an impression here on the Super Smash TV tournament, a reverse sweep against Brysolf is definitely the way to do that. That would be one of the all-time events to happen in this tournament, I think, if it were to happen. But there's still two games to go, so we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, it definitely would be exciting to see here, but we got to get to that game 7 by completing game 6 first, and Tetsuo needs to win this one to stay in it. Meanwhile, both of the runners are getting their manips set up here.
There really hasn't been a whole lot of orbless runs, I don't think, this year. This was one of them, but like, there's really not a whole lot. Numbers have happened, and the number that we're looking for right now is number 6. We'll see who takes this game and what. Uh, I have nowhere to go from there this time. I don't know if you got something, Zero.
I just like that line. Numbers have happened. We should say that more often.
Numbers have happened. They're happening on the screen right now. 14 seconds is when the game starts. Tetsuo setting up for the orb manipulation. Brisulph, of course, taking control of the center. We'll see if that orb manip comes through for Tetsuo this time. So far, so good. We are looking for 52,500 points, which he does get. It looks pretty good for that orb in collect power ups.
Yeah, and Miso Brisulph got like a mid 38, a really nice time. Had a nuke he could use at the end there. Very nicely done. It's kind of coming with a really good time to start.
There is a first drop orb against a first drop razor shield, so Brisulph not to be outdone too much here, but we'll have to see how long it takes him to get an orb this time. Hopefully he does get one, and soon, and for his sake.
Yeah, instead he's getting nukes, and the first one was down near the door. He wasn't going to grab it anyways. It's bad position. He had the shield, so he wouldn't be able to grab it. He does grab this one. He's still going to get out at a pretty good time, even without the orb so far.
Yeah, 117 to 119, so Brisulph currently in the lead, but definitely hoping to find an orb here in Eat My Shrapnel.
You know, both players clear out the starting enemy, so now they're going to try to gain control of the room here. Brisulph, he may ignore these grenades. He's going to ignore them. He's going to wait for the next drop.
And meanwhile, we got some rockets on Tetsuo's side, so he's just burning through everything. And there is an orb for Brisulph at long last. This might be his match after all. We'll see how it plays out.
Yep, no orbless this time, so both players are going to be able to keep this room in control. Tetsuo used the last of his rockets here, and they're both getting out at a 2 minutes for Brisulph and like a 201 for Tetsuo.
Very close indeed. Going into total carnage. Not a whole lot of starting drops. Brisulph does get a spreader in the corner, does go for it. Tetsuo looking for something, gets a dude, not gonna help.
You know, I'm having to dance around some of that shrapnel explosions. Meanwhile, Brisulph gets the Razor Shield and a spreader. So he's going to use that, and he's going to probably ignore these grenades, and that's fine. As long as they're not in the dead center, so he doesn't have to try to dance around them. You know, he's got that Razor Shield. He's fine.
Well, at this point, so does Tetsuo, so both of them are able to hold on to that center real nice. There's rockets at the bottom there, but Tetsuo is not going to be able to get them. It's too close to the wall, and the Razor Shield is going to prevent him from getting them, so he does wisely avoid those. Gets a dude instead, and it's got to be Brisulph at a 253, and it's got to be Tetsuo coming out at a 3 minutes flat.
Yep, pretty spicy there. Both solid times in the grand scheme of things. Brisulph does have a decent lead here, though. So both players do have their orbs, though. So let's see what happens at the start of Tank Trouble. Let's see if they get some good drops.
Brisulph starting off Tank Trouble with invulnerability. Not terrible, not the worst thing, but also not too helpful when you have an orb on your belt. And pretty much the same for Tetsuo, about at the same place too.
Yeah, practically a repeat there. But now Brisulph's got some rockets, and he's going to be able to take off the last gunner and has a spreader he can follow up with. And rockets for Tetsuo as well.
Rockets on rockets. Nice, nice and be able to clear the wall gunners and try to hold that center as much as possible. Invulnerability on Brisulph's side. Bomb on the feet for Tetsuo doesn't really help a whole lot because it didn't clear a whole lot of room, but maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens. 4 or 5 for Brisulph.
Yep, looks like Tetsuo is going to be a little farther back, about an 8 seconds or so difference. So slight edge here to Brisulph. You get some rockets to start off with. That's really great for taking out those gunners. He's going to go for the ball buster again. Let's see if he gets it.
Oh, not this time though. He's gotten every ball buster up until now, but well, luck's got to run out somewhere, I guess. Not that he hasn't been lucky with many other things before.
Yeah, and Tetsuo did get his ball buster, so that actually will catch him up a fair amount. They might be about even or so, but right now, Tetsuo's got lobbers to work with while Briselow's
Ooh.
just trying to wait for the next drop. He's going to go for the Telio, and he gets rewarded with a key.
Come on, game. Yeah, Tetsuo is solidly in the lead now with one arm popped off. The other should be coming off right about now. Briselph still hoping to get something, gets grenades. That's not too bad. That's okay DPS, but not what you want to see. More grenades dropping there and against some rockets for Tetsuo.
Oh, and Bry gets a player 2 spreader. He's going to have to go for some manuals on the right side there. Let's see. He's getting some good damage in there. Not too bad. He's going to grab these lobbers and switch it up now.
Yeah, Lobber is good for consistent damage, but right now Tetsuo is in the lead, so Briselph is going to want to find a good spreader or at least keep the weapon train going here.
Yeah, he caught up a fair amount. He's not too far behind. He had his forms chained right around Tetsuo, so Tetsuo's still in the lead, but not by too much here, especially with these dead drops and Briselph is catching up.
Yeah, the head pops off for Briselph, so they're about at the same form now, but Briselph with the weapon advantage up until Tetsuo gets that spreader. This is gonna be a nice hot finish here. Both of them on final form. Tetsuo getting a little bit of transfer damage, and Tetsuo gets it. So we are going a full set. We're going to game 7, and Tetsuo might just be able to pull this off.
Wow, that's crazy. Tetsuo got the spreader at the perfect time.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, just apparently I'm speechless, so don't mind me.
Yep, and wow, you know what? The game gave him what he needed there. Tetsuo is able to take game number 6, and we are going to a game number 7, and this is the decider here.
Man, if you were to tell me that Tetsuo was at least in the running to complete a reverse sweep against Brisulph this late in the game, I would probably not believe you. Then I would watch this and be like, oh man, this is a game I want to watch. Also, Tetsuo's webcam filtering there not really working in his favor. It's just kind of phasing in and out of existence.
He's traveling in the 4th dimension.
No wonder he's able to pull this off.
Maybe that's his secret. All right, well, let's see if he can keep that up for one more game here. Both players are getting their manips set up, and we'll be getting them counted down shortly here.
Now let's see if we can make this real exciting, because we remember the match, I believe, in the 6th annual, Telio and Aquas getting a 1 frame difference. I would love it's probably not going to happen, but I would love to see this end in a tie.
That would absolutely be wild to see. I mean, 1 frame away is as close as you can get without actually being a tie. I mean, that they would make tournament history if they could have a tie on a pivotal game 7 like this. Brisulph is
Absolutely.
getting back to his console here, so they're now both readied up, and I will getting them counted down.
Brysel 3 games, Tetsuo 3 games. It is game number 7. It is the I've been saying it's the quarterfinal. This is the winner's semifinal. I'm like I said, I'm the best at reading the brackets. Y'all know that. But here we go. Game 7. Who's gonna take it? It's gonna be Brysel, our 3-time champion. It's gonna be Tetsuo, our scrappy scrappy 4th seed here. Let's find out.
Tetsuo, of course, again, is going to go for the Orb Manip, starting off well. No mistakes so far. Let's see. Meanwhile, Brisulph is just going to use that Razor Shield as he continues to take down the other grunts. Tetsuo's looking pretty good. Should be ending right about there. Yep, looks good on Tetsuo's side. Meanwhile, solid time from Brisulph.
Ooh, look at this. It's going to be 37. Yeah, a very high 37 seconds. That is hot.
And that is a great time to be coming in here. So he no Orb Manip, but Bri doesn't need it. He's got the skills to pay the bills and get those kind of times. So let's see. Tetsuo is gonna get his orb. Meanwhile, Brisulph gets some grenades. Not a great start, especially without feet to at least run around the room.
Some spreaders for Brisulph against some grenades for Tetsuo. So Brisulph with the drop advantage here. That spreader is not quite going to clear the room, but those grenades probably will.
Yep,
Oh,
and rockets.
yeah, unless he gets some rockets, got to finish up with that instead. But Tetsuo's got to be out first at about a 117 against a 122.
Yep, very solid. And Bryce still doesn't have the orb here, so he's going to be fishing. He's got the rockets to start with, which is nice to help clear out the initial enemies here. So let's see if he can get an orb here to even things up.
Yeah, Rocket especially good against that swirl. I think Brisulph got some grenades on the feet, which really didn't help him considering his Razor Shield, but at least those go by pretty quickly. There's his orb.
Yep, no Orbless and no super late orb for Brisulph, so if all things equal, time will stay about the same, about a 5-second difference or so. But let's see here as they finish off this room.
So Total Carnage is coming up here. I believe that's about a 5-second difference, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, give or take. And key for Tetsuo, he's going to ignore that. Brisulph gets a spreader, so that'll help. Followed by some more spreaders, and Tetsuo gets a nuke.
Yeah, definitely favoring Brisulph there, but no one with rockets. Yeah, you really want to see rockets. There's the rockets on Brisulph's side. Gonna help him finish this, clear out most of this room at least. Clear those firing lanes and keep the center pretty clean.
Yeah, and Tetsuo also had rockets at the exact same time. His position was better though, so they spawned closer to him, so he didn't have to go nearly as far. So that'll give him a little bit of time gain potentially, not too much. But let's see here. We're getting near the end of the room for both players.
And it is going to be, oh, ho, 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 look at this. 3 minutes for both of our players. It is dead even.
Yeah, I think Bricel's a little upset about hitting that 3 minutes, but little does he know they are basically dead even. So can't be too mad about that in the grand scheme. And this is going to be a big tank trouble coming up here. I mean, both players overall so far have done a good job in here. I think Tetsuo dropped the orb just the once in one of the earlier games, but other than that, they've been doing pretty good. So hopefully they can both keep it up here. Let's get some even drops game.
I wouldn't call that even drops. It's an invulnerability against some rockets. Around the same place, but more rockets for Tetsuo, so he's definitely got the weapon advantage right now. And there's some spreaders if he dares to get them right by that door.
And he's probably going to ignore them. It's a dangerous grab to go that if you especially have your orb still, and so he's just going to hold the center and just keep the damage flowing. Meanwhile, Bryce trying to finish off that last gunner, get some rockets, so that'll help finish it off.
Indeed. Oh, but there's some rockets for Tetsuo right on the feet. So, yeah, he's got to be finishing this room first at about a 409. There's some rockets for Brisulph, who has apparently lost his orb, but at least finishes the room, is going to be out at a 415. So Tetsuo has the advantage going into Mutoid Man in game number 7. Is going to come down to what drops for both of our players, and Tetsuo starts off with a dead drop.
Yeah, I missed when Bry lost his orb. It was later on in the room. It wasn't early in it at the very least, but he's not going to be able to get the ball buster. Did Tetsuo get his?
I wasn't looking. I'm sorry, but he does get a spreader. Gets a couple of manuals, not a whole lot there, but follows it up with some lobbers. Both of the foot gunners still alive though, gonna cause him to have to dance a little bit.
Chat saying ball buster for Tetsuo. So it's
They
and yeah,
get the
they're
balls. Okay.
yeah. Tetsuo does have the gunners. He's gonna try to okay. Gets rid of the gunners finally. Both arms popping off. They are pretty close to each other right now.
Yeah, we are on the same form. It is neck and neck. Who is going to get this? Got some lobbers following lobbers for Tetsuo. Got some grenades for Brisulph. Brisulph just a slight lead. And oh, but there is a spreader chance for Tetsuo. And Mutoid Man kind enough to get out of the way. Is this going to be an upset? Is Tetsuo going to get this game number 7? Or can Brisulph keep this alive?
Oh, and Tetsuo is not able to get to those lobbers. Okay, it's still close. He's got the lead, but he needs to keep these drops flowing. Meanwhile, Brisulph, oh
Oh,
no.
he does get the spreader, but is it going to be enough? He's going to get a lot of transfer damage. Tetsuo got some lobbers, and it is going to be a win for Brisulph. Takes it
Wow.
takes it home at the very last moment.
That is insane. I'm 2 seconds apart maybe here. Brisulph ending at a 6:13, high 13. Sorry, at 6:15,
Ooh,
2 second difference.
wow, that was intense. But Brisulph does guarantee his spot in the winners finals. Is going to be going up against J-Pop for Life uh, in short order here. And wow, that's one heck of a slobber knocker.
Yep. Oh, and there's Bry.
Addressing
He
Batista.
loves doing that.
Jose
Well,
Batista given the business.
yep. That was, you know what? That right there, that is a game 7 down to the wire.
Yeah, that was hot, but we got Brisulph defending his position as first seeded, is going to be going on for the winners finals against J-Pop. And meanwhile, it is definitely not over for Tetsuo. He is going to be going up against Lucha Jim over in the second chance semifinals. So we might see him again pretty soon here.